Welcome back, everyone. Dan Hodges with us today, naturalist from Johnny Appleseed Metro Park District, talking a little bit about the fall colors. You know, it's funny because we always bug you every year and try to get you to predict and that kind of thing. It's got to be tough to figure out what are some of the things that go into what kind of colors you're going to get.
Fall color is a really fascinating part of the landscape of natural history here in this in the eastern temperate zone. So this is a really cool thing that's going on all around us. Trees lose their leaves. Deciduous trees do because of the oncoming winter time. So they're dropping these leaves so that they don't get frozen basically and damage those tissues. Why that happens is because winter's coming on. When is really a lot of times dependent on the daylight length. Really, it's the photo period. So the calendar days are really going to tell a tree when to drop its leaves. The thing is, there's a lot of other variables, Jeff. There's temperature that comes into play. There's the amount of sunlight and daylight. There's the weather itself. You know, wind and rain, moisture levels too. So you're right. You kind of know mid-October is when it's going to be, you know, kind of peak fall color season. But really, it's up in the air a lot of the times. So you really got to leave it to nature. Leaf it to nature. But these nice. Trees. Thanks. I appreciate that. So these trees losing their leaves. What's happening, Jeff? I think is fascinating. Maybe that's just the nature nerd in me. But the colors that you see are really a lot of the times present in the leaf already. So what's happening is during the course of the season, the trees have a molecule called chlorophyll in their leaves, and it's what's doing a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of converting the light of the sun into energy for the plant. That's a process called photosynthesis. That takes us way back, Jeff. But then this chlorophyll, as the season goes further on into the fall, it stops producing the chlorophyll. Now, chlorophyll reflects green light. We see green because all of these plants are producing chlorophyll. Well, they stop producing chlorophyll, and the other colors that are already present, the other pigments that are already present in the leaf start to show out. Things like yellow, like this basswood leaf here, a very common color. Of course, brown shows up quite a bit. And then orange too. So I've got a little bit of orange here. I'm trying to pick out some fall colors for you. But the red, I think, is fascinating. And that's why I stopped here in front of this wonderful small ash tree. That red is a pigment that's not actually produced through the course of the year. That red called anthocyanin. And this is good. This is good stuff for your next barbecue when you need to impress your friends. Anthocyanin brings the red. But anyway, this is produced kind of as the season goes on and the leaf starts to shut down and the sugars are trapped inside the leaf. This anthocyanin responds to a lot of bright light and the presence of those sugars. So maybe it's the sunscreen, maybe it's to ward off potential predators. I mean, there's not really a ton of we don't really know a ton about about this process, but we know it happens in response to nice warm fall days, cool nights, sometimes nights that don't go too cold, not too far into the freezing range. So these leaves hang on for a long time, continue to produce sugar, and produce this kind of red color as a sunscreen.
We always tell people to get out in the parks if there's ever a time. This is the time if you want to tour and see some of these leaves.
Absolutely. So this weekend is going to be, in my estimation, is going to be our peak season. This weekend and into next week, we're really going to get some of the best color out there. Like I said, a lot of this is kind of weather dependent. So you get a big storm in and blows a lot of those leaves off. That could kind of slow things down. But we've got, I would say, Jeff, I would say go to any of these parks. A lot of times, certain trees are going to show up a little bit brighter and often more color, red and orange in there too. So a lot of maples will do that. Ash trees will do that, and a couple others. So a couple of my favorite parks, go out to Herman Woodlands. What a beautiful park to enjoy the fall foliage. Teddy Bear Park is another really good park to enjoy. Ottawa Metro Park has got some lovely areas. I love Kendrick Woods, but that's got a lot of oaks and hickories, so you get a little more yellow and brown in those areas. So you really kind of pick your poison and just get outside and enjoy some of this wonderful fall foliage.
Good advice as always. Thank you, Dan. We appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Get outside. Thanks so much. We'll be back right after this.